Hello, people. Welcome to the Championship Show. I'm joined by our regulars. We've got to my side, Owen.
Hello, Luke.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
And next to Owen, we have Mark. How are you doing, Mark?
Good, thanks. I'm chilled on my holidays.
And finally, we have Simon. How are you doing, Simon?
All right, I'm going to introduce everyone else on my show first.
Always have a problem, don't you? Always have a problem. Right. Okay, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad.
Good. So, today we have our running order below. We'll go through all the playoff games and a few extra bits as well. So, we shall kick things off with playoff semi-final, Luton against Huddersfield. I'll pass this one over to Simon and Mark. Which one of you wants to start?
Shall I do the home one and then you can do the away one, Simon?
Yes, sure, mate.
As I was at the home game, well, I was at both of them basically. Home game, thought we dominate. We came out the traps fast. We sort of controlled the first half, and we got the goal from a great Naismith cross, and Sonny Bradley scored as he does on Sky. But to be fair, I think Huddersfield came out and dominated the second half. We just couldn't get a foothold in the second half. We couldn't get control of the ball. And although there were very few chances for both sides and Huddersfield didn't create that much with the possession, I think it just showed the sort of injuries we had, and we're just like the fitness levels weren't there in the second half and we didn't have people to bring on. But having said that, I thought the first leg was a draw was a fair result, but felt fairly confident going into the second leg. So yeah, it was a decent game. Probably not so much for a neutral, but I thought it was a draw was a fair result.
Fair. Simon, do you want to just do you have any?
1 second.
One. Okay, right. Okay, Owen, you've got to fill in here. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, both teams arguably could have had penalties. I think it was Harry Toffolo in like the first.
Toffolo should have had 2 penalties.
Yeah, I have to agree with the one at Huddersfield. That was a definite penalty. Yeah, I thought.
Basically, what I can remember from first game is we should have had a penalty within 30 seconds of the game, and then it wasn't given. So there were that. But listen, it's part and parcel at football, and that's how you work it. You know what I mean? I think we did. I think we set up to play for a draw at Luton, personally. So,
anyone else want to add on that, or
no?
I'll take that as. We'll move on to the next game, the second leg. Let's just do it all at once. Huddersfield won this one. I'll start with Simon. what were your thoughts on the second leg, Simon?
Luton came. They actually set off flying out of the traps. I thought, personally, I thought Luton were going to win it at one point. And then I think it was first 50 to 60 minutes. Luton were on top of Huddersfield Town. Then out of nowhere, well, after breaks, Samba came on, changed game in my opinion. I thought he basically changed it. We started getting more and more progressive forward. We got a free kick, and what a finish by Jordan Rhodes.
Mark, what are your thoughts on the second leg?
Yeah, I just agree that the tie we should have been out of sight by the first half. Harry Cornick had a chance. And then we created other chances. And once again, we just came out the traps flying. We were pressing. The movement was outstanding. And yeah, if we went in at half time in front, nobody in the stadium could have had any complaints.
Nope.
And as is the norm, when you don't take your chances, it comes back to bite you. And even though Huddersfield came more into the game, it probably warranted extra time. And yeah, Huddersfield took their one of very few chances, and yeah, they took their chances, we didn't, and that's how it ended up. And hard defeat to take, but I think the view of all Luton fans, when you sort of reflect on it, sort of the day or a couple of days afterwards, is yeah, we're disappointed, but it's just been an absolutely incredible season that was just way beyond what we expected, and everyone should be proud of what the club achieved, what the players achieved, and we're all very positive about next season. But yeah, it wasn't meant to be this season.
Just
Right,
on that
Owen,
point,
do you have
I
any thoughts?
thought Luton, if they buried the chances, that would have put us out of the. We wouldn't have known what to do.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, it was just the way we set up as well. So I thought, I mean, Snodgrass was my man of the match, and I hope we manage to keep him for next season because we got him on a free in January, and he's just a class act. And but yeah, that's digressing a bit. But yeah, I thought tactics were spot on. We controlled it. We were fine. We were getting movement. We were creating chances, and yeah. But anyway, it's like still feeling positive about the season, even though we lost the playoffs basically.
Owen, do you want to touch on something before we?
I mean, I agree with what Simon and Mark said. Luton, first half, they battered Huddersfield, probably should have been out of sight. And then Samba Thomas comes on for Huddersfield and absolutely changes the game, really. And I mean, Huddersfield are a really dangerous side from set pieces, and obviously the goal comes from a set piece with Jordan Rhodes getting on the end of it when I thought it was going out, and then all of a sudden Rhodes just pops up and then scores. Really, I think Harry Toffolo should have a penalty, but Huddersfield took a chance and Luton didn't, so probably fair.
Yeah. Right, we shall move on to the other semi-final, which Forest
God.
against Luton. Now, right, I'll start with this one, and then I'll pass the baton to you.
Okay.
So this is the first leg of Bramall Lane. I think we were the far more superior side. I think that the stats will back me up there. We were the far more, despite having considerably less of the ball, we create far more chances. and should have really been scored 5. We did take the lead from Jack Colback reasonably early on in the game, and Brennan Johnson doubled the advantage thanks to it was a lucky goal. Joe Lyon's shot deflected into the path of Brennan Johnson. He scores. Wes Fotheringham made a great double save in the first half. And I think Sheffield, second half, they definitely came out a lot better and created the majority of their chances in the second half. And they scored quite an annoying goal to concede from a Forest perspective. Cross goes in. It's a mix of Jack Robinson and Sander Berg, and it goes in. Mr. Paul Heckingbottom did a lot of mouthing off after the game, and it's very, very nice to see that it was put in his place. Same applies for Jack Robinson. Great to see he got put in his place. But Owen, have you got anything to say on the first leg?
Well, I mean, like you touched on, Fodringham had a really good game, and if it wasn't for him, it probably would have been like 4 or 5. Other than the chance that Surridge headed off the line from, I think it was Sanderberg, the Sheffield United really only had half chances before they scored. And I think this tie was a game where both keepers were personally man of the match to their sides, because Fodringham was Sheffield United's man of the match because he kept them in the tie going into the second leg. And then obviously second leg.
Both gone up, haven't they? My thoughts on this game is Forest came out, absolutely annihilated Sheffield United. And I mean, absolutely annihilated them. But then again, I don't know where that goal came from Sheffield United, but they scored it, made it interesting for the last, a few games. So he stopped moving me around. You know, it's my show, so I have my talking numpty. Yeah, we'll do it this way, just for you, look.
Okay.
There you go. Is that better?
Fine. All right, keep going. Yeah.
Bloody hell. And yeah, I think I don't know. Forest just took the chances more. Sheffield United just did not seem to turn up whatsoever.
Yeah. Mark, you got anything to add on what we've said?
I think that's the nature of playoffs. You can be in total control, 2-0 up, and then with the second leg coming, that last minute goal for Sheffield United completely changed the outlook from 2-0 and thinking you've got 1 foot in the final to thinking that it's going to be a nervous night, which is what the second leg proved to be.
Louis, you know what I mean, you know to.
That's just the nature of the playoffs. That it's an old saying, but it is only half time after the first leg, which is stating the obvious. But if you think you're 2-1 down at half time as opposed to 2-0, then it's a completely different complexion, which it was in the end.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything to add before we go to the second leg?
Yeah, I want you to stop touching my stuff. I've set the show up for how it's supposed to be, and you come along, get your fucking permission, and then start messing around with it. It looks miles better like this. Leave it, shut up, move on to the next game.
I take time of my day to set this up, and I just get abuse from Simon.
I asked you to set up the show. That is it. I never tell you to mess around with my colours, with my setup. What is on the bloody plan? Stupid. Come on.
Right, Simon. Right. Moving on to the second leg. It finished 2-1 Sheffield United.
I want to say something straight away on this one. Go on.
It's 3-3 on aggregate, and then Forest won at 3-2 on penalties. Right, do you want to say something quick, Simon?
Go on then.
I thought you said you wanted to say something quick.
I thought you said, can I say something quick? As in saying something.
Okay.
Right, so am I all right to say my piece about this game?
Yeah, go on.
You guys honestly thought because of the last game, you'd automatically won. And you thought you were at Wembley. That's being fair to be. This is just from an outsider's point of view. You thought you'd already won the tie because of what happened at Sheffield United. Sheffield United turned up and outplayed you. And luckily for Forest, you scored and took it to extra time and penalties. And then, unfortunately, for Sheffield United, they didn't win on penalties. But overall, the second game was much better than the first one by a country mile.
Yeah, okay. So I think definitely in normal time, Sheffield United were the far better side, miles better than what they were in the first leg. I think with our first or second chance of the game, we scored through Brennan Johnson, and then I think early doors Morgan Gibbs White scores a very avoidable goal. I think we could have defended it a bit better, and then I think the second goal is a very similar worked goal. And the annoying thing is, I don't think John Fleck should have been on the pitch for that. But then again, you put any other player in that exact position, they are going to score. It's basically a tap in, so you can't necessarily look at it terribly. But I think overall, in extra time, I think both teams had golden opportunities to win it. Forest through Keenan Davis, which Fotheringham makes a good save, and Gibbs White as well just gets his boot to it. Samba, who was immense in this game, gets his studs to it. Then it goes to penalties. Breeze Samba and his water bottle win it. First penalty saved for Sheffield. Brennan Johnson scores. His Samba saves again against Horahan. And then we win in the end in very dramatic circumstances. But I'll pass it to you, Owen.
Personally, I think Sheffield United, I think one of the best teams that have come to City Ground under this season, especially under Cooper. They had a game plan. They got tight to our fullbacks. Colbeck and Spence weren't allowed time and space, which credit to them. And they came with a game plan and they executed it really well. And obviously, first 15 minutes, we didn't start well. They come flying out of traps. Njai had a chance which Samba saved, one of his 5 saves that really sent us to Wembley. And then obviously 6 minutes later, Brennan Johnson goes and scores to make it 1-0 in the game, and then 3-1 on aggregate. And then second half, Sheffield United just absolutely battered us. I mean, like you said, Morgan Gibbs White goal could have been easily avoided. So could a John Fleck goal, because I think Colback was with the guy that was running down the wing, and then he slips, which allows the Sheffield United player to cross it in, which Fleck's there to tap it in. And then second extra time, especially at the start of the extra time, second half, start of the second half, Roy had the chance where he slipped, and I think if he doesn't slip, I think it's on target. And obviously then Samba makes that save from Morgan Gibbs White with his foot virtually David De Gea save, virtually identical to some of his good saves and that. And then it goes to penalties, which penalties are a lottery. And really, I think we did get lucky, but you got to have some luck in the playoffs.
I mean, thought you guys had the FA Cup after you beat us. Thought you guys got second automatic spot after having 4 games in hand. Your fans are so deluded, it's untrue. That's all I'm going to say.
If I'm
You
honest,
automatically think you're going to beat us at Wembley. It's fine. It's fine. Write us off. We've been there, done that. Bought the T-shirt. We'll prove everyone wrong again, I hope.
Mark, you got anything to add on this game and the tie as a whole?
I mean, you literally scored in the first half with, from what I remember, your only chance.
Yeah.
And I think you went in 3-1 and Agra. I think you thought the job was done. I think maybe you got a bit complacent. You didn't start the second half with intensity. Then Sheffield United scored, and after that, it was difficult for you to get that intensity back. And then Sheffield United deservedly got a second goal. And then once you go to then extra time, you both had chances to win it. And obviously, penalties is a lottery. I think that over the season, Samba's had a history of coming off his line for penalties. He did it in the penalty we had at the City Ground. And to be fair to him, he's been getting away with it all season. The referees haven't pulled up on it. So if he's getting away with it and he's saving penalties, then from his point of view, why would you not do it? And then I think he just did the same. He was off his line, saved the penalties. You've won the penalty shootout. So yeah, if you can get away with it, go for it. But no referees has sort of pulled him up on it all season. But yeah, penalties are a lottery, so it's who holds the nerve at the moment.
Yeah, Mark can just add something to that. I think that could maybe get pulled up on, especially if it goes to penalties at Wembley, especially with VAR involved. VAR might see it that he like comes off his line and like force him to retake it or something.
He might do, but like I said, you can't blame him. He tries to get away with it. He's got away with it all season, so he's like thinking, well, why wouldn't I? He's just trying to do the best for his team, and fair play to him for getting away with it. So yeah, it'd be interesting if VAR do anything about it. But yeah, I think the semi-finals. It's about getting a result over how you play. And for example, our first half, Huddersfield away, was probably one of the best halves I've seen us play for a long while. But ultimately, it's more about the result than the performance. And you managed to get over the line and get to the final, and that was unfortunately that was where all the negatives started as soon as the final whistle went.
Yeah.
Look, one, actually have a click on the actual tweet and have a look at the username. It's a joke, you dopey bugger. You lot have all fallen for these stupid puns all week.
I mean,
and you call it, I'm just wanted to point that out. It's someone's account. It isn't Huddersfield Town.
Isn't it that
I
Sandra
think
person?
sure.
Yes, it's Sandra having a bit of banter. And look, one fell for it. You guys have all been falling for it.
Could you just say fair play to having a bit of banter?
It's all about the season, all about ticket sales for you guys and how many you've sold within 2 minutes and all this malarkey. So they've been taking the mick, saying we sold 6,000 and, giving it a massive thumbs up and ticket alerts. And you guys are falling for it fish hook straight to the gob.
Right, let me just try to find the tweet. One of the tweets is actually about us was actually pretty funny. I think it's the one where it was like Wembley's changed since it looked like this for Forest fans.
Yeah, that was the latest one. And do you want directions? Because it was Wembley with Twin Towers last time you guys had been there. Anywho, can we move on to this bad boy?
Oh yes, just going to go on to the topic of Sunderland actually. But yeah, before you do, you can make sure to subscribe and like for cutting edge content, and follow us on social links in the description. I'm stealing this from Simon. Yes, okay, right, on to the...
Can I also just say, you did it wrong. You're supposed to like, then subscribe, and if you want to talk to us out of show, please follow. You numpty. And now it's crashed.
Okay.
Here we go. I found it.
Oh no, it's hilarious.
So I
So
presume all of you, the three of you, are all going to the final.
Yeah.
I am.
You've all got
Got-
tickets.
I've got my
Oh, dear,
tickets.
I'm not a season ticket holder. I'm gonna be stuck at the back. I know it.
Mine depends on Tuesday. Hopefully, there's tickets left. I don't think there will be though, because I think
I mean, Mark, you should have tried to get a ticket. And no, I'm not taking Mickey out. I think you should have tried to have got a ticket and done your last ride up to Wembley Way, finish the season off, and what's it? That's
should got
just
Simon. Should got Simon to get you a ticket or something. Because aren't you doing like six? Like a season ticket holder could buy 6 tickets or something.
no. Right, you lot have took that so out of context, right? Basically,
Okay.
a season ticket holder can buy their season ticket, but if they've got someone else's reference, you can buy up to 6 tickets with their references. You know the season ticket numbers.
Yeah.
That's all it is, and it's so you can sit together with your family rather than, you know what I mean. So, for instance, mine's 102, yours is 103, Luke's is 104, Mark's is 105, Lacon's is 106, Annie's is 107, right?
And Louis 108.
And Louis 108. And because we all want to sit together, but because we don't sit together in the stadium, we've all sit in different sides, I go buy the ticket and use your number, Luke's, Mark's, Laquan's, and so-and-so's, but I can use up to 6 references to get a block of seats together. That's what it is. It's not that we can buy 6 tickets at a time.
Oh.
You've got to use your season card reference to get the cat. You know what I mean? So you've got families who can sit together. It isn't like
yeah, Simon, how are you doing the tickets? So I presume season ticket holders and like members got first priority.
Well, my dad bought the tickets through his card, so.
And then how many sold so far? Do you know, or do you
I have
just not
no
care?
idea, and I really don't care.
12
You're
and a half
forgetting.
thousand, I heard.
You're forgetting Huddersfield is a town, right?
And we're like a city.
Forest is a city, so there's a hell of a lot more people wanting to go from Nottingham than there is Huddersfield.
Okay. Right. Let's move on to the League One playoff final. Obviously, the Sunderland meme will be used here. But it finished Sunderland 2, Wickham 0. Yeah, it was I just want to give a shout out to Sunderland for giving me 5,000 views across 3 streams. Thanks for that, guys. I think Sunderland were by far the best team in this game. I think Wickham created absolutely nothing. I don't even think they got into Sunderland's half until Ampleton scored for Sunderland. It was a good finish, but I don't know what Stockdale was doing. It was Karius-esque, just jumping slightly on the spot. It was terrible goalkeeping, and then Wickham actually decided to try and attack, and they created, I think, maybe 1, maybe 2 good opportunities. One through Sam Vokes. Their best chance of the game came in the second half, where Sam Vokes was clean through, and Patterson, the Sunderland goalkeeper, makes a good save. But Ross Stewart, who did eventually get Sunderland's second goal, had plenty of opportunities, and he did eventually put one to bed and secured Sunderland's championship status for next season. What is everyone's thoughts on the game?
I only saw like back last 15, 20 minutes of the game. I saw Pritchard's goal. And it
Pritchard
was well
scored, he didn't
worked
score.
goal. I'm sure it was Pritchard who scored.
Oh no, he might have. He played it into Ross Stewart, but he didn't score.
All right, it must have got well. It was a well worked goal either way. It was good. Whoever scored it, it doesn't matter who. Like, it's good for him to be back in Championship. I've got a
Apparently,
little soft spot for him, to be fair, because I were a mascot against him when I were a kid. So, sorry, Mark.
apparently, this is just a stepping stone back into the Premiership because that's where they deserve to be.
Oh yeah, it's all about the fan numbers. Have you not known that from Sky?
Yeah, you deserve to be in the Premiership. It doesn't matter what your team does, you deserve to be in there because you've got so many supporters. But
Well, if
yeah,
that's the case, why is Sheffield Wednesday in League One, and why Sunderland took 4 years to get out of League One?
apparently they didn't deserve to be in League One for 4 years. Well, you did because you didn't get promoted for 4
Exactly.
years. So, yeah, it's just the commentators' mentality that this is just a fast track to the Premiership. It's almost
They're
like
gonna struggle like crazy next season.
yeah, but it's just all the mentality in the comments that like as if like they're just gonna like I always say that the step up from League One to the Championship is so massive that I think it takes I think if you manage to stay in the Championship in your first season, you've had a good season.
Yep,
Like,
totally agree with you.
It's such a tough league to have to like
Just straight away.
yeah, and it's been proved it by us, Coventry, yourselves. We all struggled to stay in there, and now Coventry top 10, you and us will playoffs. It just proves if you just stay up there, but obviously that doesn't apply to Sunderland because they're just going to like.
Oh no, they're going to romp the league.
Can't
Don't even
wait.
mention Norwich or all others who've come down, Burnley and that lot. Whoever they are, you know, Sunderland's going to romp this league. They're going to go straight into Premier League, straight into European football season after. I mean,
it's going to be a really strong season, Championship next year. That's right, it always is, but it's it's going to be a lot of.
It's going to be another tough season for everyone in the league.
Well, as long as we beat Watford twice, and anything else is a bonus.
That's it.
Is that all everyone's got to start this game?
Newcastle could have done us a favour today, but meh.
Don't get started on that. Right, okay, I've got a question on Sunderland. Where do you all think Sunderland will finish? I'll start with Simon and I'll do Owen Mark. Simon?
Like Mark picked up on, it's a tough league to come back into and adjust to. So I think they'll just finish above the relegation zone. I think they're good enough to stay up, but they'll find it difficult and find it hard to adjust to the Championship way of football. Because League One, you can pretty much batter someone or, you know, clatter into someone and get away with it. Whereas in Championship, you do that, you get a yellow card straight away, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So it's a different mentality at Championship. I personally think they'll just survive in the league. If not, they possibly go back down. It's going to be a very tough ask for them to achieve what they seem to be told they're going to achieve, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you're saying 21st. Sorry, Mark. You're saying 21st?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark, go on.
I think the only difference with Sunderland is, and the difference probably with Peterborough, is that they'll get the financial backing to go and
stay in the league,
strengthen their squad and stay in the league. Whereas the likes of Peterborough didn't have that.
Barnsley, so, Peterborough.
I think they'll be bottom half. I don't think they'll go down. Probably they'll probably be like 15, 16. They won't go down, but they'll will stay up, but I think they'll have some financial backing, which will allow them to go and strengthen again. And again, everyone else will strengthen, but we're all on different budgets. So yeah, and obviously like Wigan coming up, Rotherham are your proverbial yo-yo side that
Yep.
never stay in the same league 2 years running. So are Rotherham going to be any different this year than just being the perennial championship strugglers? So yeah, be interesting. And the obvious strugglers from this year, you think like the likes of Reading and Birmingham, you probably think they're going to,
Bristol City.
unless they do a Huddersfield and basically go from relegation to sort of playoffs, but I can't see it because I personally think it's all about the structure of the club, and if the club's structured right, then you can develop and you can improve year on year, like we have for like the last 10 years. But I think there isn't that stability at, say, Birmingham or maybe Reading that would probably enable them to sort of kick on. I think the structure of the clubs will mean that they'll probably struggle again next season.
Yeah. Owen, when do you think they'll finish?
Well, I mean, it depends. Depends on what financial backing they get, obviously, and like how Reading, Birmingham, Bristol City, who could potentially have a point deduction come in, and how all rest of newly promoted sides do. But I do think they will survive. Personally,
To narrow it down to one position.
20th.
Very nice. I'm gonna go with the 19th. I have faith in Alex Neil, and I think they will make some good signings. It's just a case of trying to get, because we've got a few loan players in. I think trying to keep those loan players or getting worthy replacements.
Is Niall Quinn still in charge of them?
No,
That's Alex Neil.
Not as manager. I meant as the owner.
No, he's not involved in the ownership.
Right. Okay.
But moving on to our next point of conversation, Burnley's relegation. By the looks on Sam's face, looks like you've got quite a bit to say about it. So, shall I start with you, Simon, or not?
Newcastle had one job, one bloody job, and they couldn't even do it. I mean, I didn't see the game. I was watching the other side of, I was watching dirty Leeds. But when it came up 1-0, I thought, it's all right, Burnley can come back here. Then it came through as 2-0. I'm like, oh, God, that's it. Leeds are staying up. Then Burnley scored. I'm thinking, right, let them score again. But 93rd minute, it just didn't happen for them. And if they kept Dyche, I don't personally think they'd be down today. And fair play Leeds, they scraped through. They managed to get a win against Brentford. 9 men, by the way. Brentford went down to 9 men. 1 injured, 1 sent off, and they used all 3 subs. So I don't know that player, but he got a second yellow because he previously had just scored for him. Whips his top off like you do, and got a yellow. Now, I've got a question for all of you. I want you to answer it if you don't mind. Why get a yellow card for taking your top off? It just doesn't make sense to me.
But it's been there since the year dot, so everyone knows it's there. I know it doesn't make sense, but
just scrap it.
It's been there forever, and
it's time to scrap it because it's pointless.
It is pointless, but players know it's there. It's not doesn't come as a shock when they take the top off and they get booked, does it?
True.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything to add on the game?
No.
Burnley relegation?
Other than on the Premier League, we mentioned pitch invasions off stream. I think I've got a statement from Man City. Manchester City would like to sincerely apologise to Aston Villa goalkeeper Robin Olsen, who was assaulted after a final whistle at today's match when fans entered the pitch.
Why did they do that?
Because they're tin pots.
Why-
Moving on.
Why is the... You can't say anything. Your guy went on and smashed bloody Billy Sharp out of nowhere.
Fan base through coins.
Well, yeah,
And
they threw
punch Jordan
bottles.
Clark.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
threw bottles. Yeah.
We're all in the wrong here.
I'm not sticking up for any of them, and it's majority. We're not all getting painted with the same brush here, but
how do you stop the pitch invasions when there's
exactly? How are you going to stop
thousands of
it?
people coming on the pitch? How do you stop it?
Exactly, and you can't.
But there's got to be and I agree with what someone said. There's a bit of a copycat thing coming in because normally, like, people come on the pitch for the last home game, but where it's an accident waiting to happen is you basically got one team getting promoted. You might have the other team that's obviously
Stayed up for something.
Yeah,
Like-
but basically, how do you stop it? It's a hard one. I mean, you talk about banning everyone that comes on the pitch and using photographic evidence, but
Yeah, but that spoils it for the fans what are going on to celebrate with the players. Like myself, I went on. You probably see me on the pitch. I didn't come over to you guys and start fucking chucking pence and coins, punching people, did I? You know what I mean? I've always done it since I was a young lad. Last game at season, you run on the pitch. It's something. It's traditional, but my point is, the people what was chucking these coins and bottles and going on and assaulting these players, they should have photographs, CCTV. They should use them all, grab them all up when they least expect it, and give them bans from every single football ground in the entire world. Take their passports off them for when England go away in tourneys, so they can't follow finger. Non-league football, they're not allowed to go to. Someone has to, you know what I mean?
Mm.
That's the only way you're going to stop these dicks doing stuff like this.
But going back to the Huddersfield game, the police were a disgrace. So basically, we were in the stand.
Mate,
we weren't moving. We weren't causing anything, and the police were facing us, and everything was being chucked into our end. And as I said to the police, you're facing the wrong way because they're the ones causing trouble. We're just stood here, and they literally did nothing. They did nothing about the people that were chucking stuff.
Up where I sit now, the platform. If you look across from your end, it'll be right hand side.
Yeah.
There's a platform. I sit right there. Now there were two police officers stood there all game, video recording of fans, right? And they were still stood there recording the fans going onto the pitch and throwing stuff. So fingers crossed. And with your complaints from Luton and FA and everyone getting involved, they get done because it's an embarrassment.
Yeah, but and I hate giving them airtime on this show, but it's a relevant topic to talk about. But on the other side of it, I hate giving them airtime because the idiots don't deserve it.
They're absolute fucking idiots, all lot of them.
Yeah.
Not from my point of view, right? I wanted on that night. I honestly thought, shall I go over to you guys so I can see if I can spot you and talk to you? You know what I mean? But I thought, no, because they'll think I'm being enticing or whatever, which it wasn't. It were a general, I was wanting to be, you know what I mean? And there's these idiots what just go and then charge at the fans. Like Forest lot, first thing we came on and did was charge to Sheffield United fans.
Well, the sad thing was, from a selfish point of view, was obviously it's the last. If we'd have lost, it was the last game of the season. I sort of hoped I'd get a few player shirts to auction, but that quickly became a no-go when there was all the trouble. So,
well, I don't know whether you know. Once everyone came off the pitch, Luton fans, far as I'm aware, Luton did come back down and clutches, but by then it's a bit.
Yeah, and obviously the most important thing is player safety, and that's I think what the biggest conversation is, that players, officials shouldn't feel that they're at risk and having to get off the pitch. And I'd understand Luton players thinking, let's just get off because it's not safe. And I think that's the worst thing, that Billy Sharp was minding his own business, and Jordan Clark, all he wanted to do was come and thank the supporters. They're just minding their own business. They're not enticing it, and they're putting themselves at danger, which is like the most upsetting thing about the whole thing. But yeah, that's my last thing on the comment.
Yep.
Right, Mark. Do you want to do your end of stream a little bit? I know obviously the season's over, but do you want to still promote it?
So Luke froze for anyone?
Sorry?
Luke's frozen, I think.
Yeah, he's holding his head like this on the table. And he's blurred out all his Forest crap in background, which is a plus.
Oh, for God's sake, I was going to take a photo of that.
I think, Mark, what he's on about is you're promoting your cycling challenge, and if you want to get in on it, and so I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think he's just rebooting and he'll come back.
But so if you haven't known, if you don't already know, Mark has been cycling to every away game this season. There he is, Mr. Frozen Head.
Head in his hands.
Fingers crossed that we'll like that next Saturday.
Hey.
Fingers crossed next Sunday you'll be like that. Anyway, we won't go on to the details there, but going along bottom is Mad Hatter Mark's Just Giving page. I'll put Mark on screen solo so he can give it out what he's been doing it for and why he's done it. So, like, Luke,
I didn't do anything.
You clicked it at the same time.
You obviously double clicked it.
Shut up.
So my last cycle, as it transpires, was the cycle to Huddersfield again. So I've now completed my challenge. So I cycled to 26 games. I cycled 2,970 miles across the season. And basically that was I'd cycled just over 200 hours. That's cycling time, which equates to about 8 days continuous. They're all the boring bits. The most important bit is that the donations is £14,043, which is an unbelievable amount of money for 3 charities.
You're still doing that?
Yeah. So the closing date for the competition is the 30th of May, and that was because it was the day after the playoff final. So people have still got a chance to donate. So at the moment, I've had 43 guesses and £420 raised towards the shirt. So there's still time to get your guess in and potentially win the the Luton shirt donated by the club. So I'm at, like I said, just over £14,000. Hopefully, I'll get as close to £15,000 as possible. I'll probably close the donation page sort of early June, and but yeah, just as I've said on the show before, it's just been an absolutely incredible experience. I've never expected A, the amount of money, and B, the well wishes from all the Championship clubs I've visited, from all the home fans, from everyone that sort of supported me, for all the wishes. It's just been an amazing experience, and it's been an incredible season on and off the pitch. But yeah, it's just been brilliant. So yeah, so the 3 charities were Keach Hospice, which is a hospice in Luton, which look after people with life-limiting illnesses, prostate cancer. Obviously, everyone knows about the work that prostate do. 1 in 8 men have prostate. And finally, Calm, Campaign Against Living Misery, is a mental health charity, and they are a suicide prevention charity as well as other mental health. And suicide is the biggest killer in this country. So, yeah, all worthwhile charities. But yeah, thank you everyone. And yeah, the season's over. I can rest now. The bike just survived. It broke down about 10 miles from Huddersfield. So I think it must have complained about all the cycling I've made it doing, and it complained and finally stopped. But yeah, literally limped into Huddersfield, and now it's gone off to be fixed for a well-earned rest, as I've got, because I think there's only 66 days until the new season.
Something like, yeah.
So yeah, thank you everyone. It's much appreciated, and thanks for your support.
You're more than welcome. I just want to say on behalf of everyone here, what an achievement you've achieved. And unfortunately, you didn't do the Wembley Way one. Would have loved to have met up with you at Wembley Way, but yeah, congratulations. And raising that much money is just phenomenal. So this is where I'm going to literally clap you.
Thank you very much.
Little legend, Mark. And it was lovely to get to meet you when you came up.
Yeah, it was nice that we had 2 games that we could just meet up and have a chat, and yeah, it was nice to do that.
So, my quick question to you is, who are you looking forward to playing next season, and are you going to cycle there?
I wouldn't do the whole season. I might do the new clubs in the Championship. I might do, but nothing's decided. Who will look most playing? There's only one. I think you all know who that is. Those horrible people in yellow.
I have no idea. Norwich.
I've got nothing against Norwich, only that they come down with all their parachute payments, as will Burnley and
your favourite team.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to beating Watford twice next season.
At least you'll get guaranteed 6 points, right?
Talking about parachute, Luke, piss off.
We're done. Blaming me for everything. Aye.
Yeah, Burnley will get 80 million parachute payments.
What a joke. I don't even think they've spent 80 million in one transfer window in the Premier League. I don't even think they've spent £8 in one transfer window.
But they don't just get it for one season; they get it for 3 years, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So even if they don't, because my axe to grind was Sunderland went from the Premier League. They basically then got relegated from the Championship, and they were getting parachute payments from the Premiership when they were in League One. How can that be right?
Something like that. Yes, your point is correct though. It is very. I don't know if and when it's going to get abolished, but it needs abolishing.
But if it went to a vote of all the Premier League clubs, nobody's going to vote for it out because clubs are potentially going to be voting for them to have less money. So it's not going to get put through, is it?
No.
If half the clubs potentially, if they had a bad season, could go down and potentially, no club's going to. It's a bit like the League Two sides voting to have more clubs come up from the National League, and no one's going to do it because everyone's got their own interests, haven't they?
Yes, I think so.
Anyway, I've had a few beers, so I feel brave enough now to listen to the prediction of the Forest Huddersfield game. So I'm beered up now. I'm ready.
Luke, you know that thing that I sent you? Can you just flash it up on screen for a minute about the Championship rotations next season?
Yes. Let me just download it and then I'll get it up. Right, Simon or Owen, do you want to start to talk?
I'm not saying a word. It's going to be a tough game.
I've had a few beers just to listen to the banter.
All I say is may the best team win.
That's it. May the best team win. And obviously it's not the team in red. But...
Yeah, but apparently you're not playing in red, are you? Because you can't...
No, we are playing in red, it's confirmed now.
Yeah.
But why couldn't you play in your red top and then just red shorts?
No, I think like short classes are allowed because we have played against, I know QPR strings to mind, we played in red against QPR and we had white shorts, so I think it's what the referee decides.
Okay.
All this malarkey about colour at shorts, just get on with it. I mean,
I know.
It's a football game. I'm surprised you didn't pick the orange and yellow one. That awful bloody shirt you got. You know what I mean?
Sunderland's even further than Middlesbrough. Oh my god.
Right, okay.
But,
That's what Owen was on about.
Very northern. You may as well call it the Northern League.
Well, if you just look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like 11 clubs, 12 are basically north of the Midlands.
13 potentially, because obviously depending on next Sunday.
Because there's only 7 clubs south of Luton.
I think you're not doing your challenge next year.
Sorry?
I think you'd be glad you're not doing your challenge this coming season.
Wow, that would be a lot of miles, wouldn't it, next season?
All I can say is the Lancashire things is going to be very tasty. Burnley, Blackburn, Preston, Wigan, Blackpool. That's tasty.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
It's now a Lancashire league. It used to be the Yorkshire League. Now it's Lancashire League.
And obviously it depends on Sunday's result, but it's either going to be one more in the Midlands or one more in the North Yorkshire.
Hopefully it's
any further north of Sunderland and you're in Scotland. So what happens on the show next season? Potentially one or a few of you are going to be in the Premier League.
Well, if we do it,
new recruits.
I won't be here. So you've got 2 there. What I'll do it. But
You go faster.
Shut up, Luke. Shut up. Yeah. Shut up. Right. But if they get it, then we can finally freshen up and get some new people in, and
I think we should. I think we should start like scouting for new recruits.
Yeah, I think that could be a shot. To be fair,
I think so. Basically, my take on the final is: so we played Forest twice this year,
Mm-hmm.
and we kept Johnson quiet in both games. We kept Spence quiet, and we stopped the source of the supply. And you didn't score against us in 2 games, and I think we basically suffered just in terms of how Huddersfield might play it. We basically suffocated the source of the supply to your players that influence the game most. And I'm sure Huddersfield would have done their homework in terms of how to stop that. But it's one thing, sort of like stopping the source, but you've also got to impact your own style and your own tactics on the team to be able to be more offensive. So I think it's an interesting final in terms of who settles quicker and also how the influential players will get involved in the game and impact the game, basically.
it's a bigger pitch. It's a big occasion. Huddersfield Town's been there before, and I'm not blowing trumpet. We've been there before, so we know we know of the place we expect. Nerves, obviously, but I mean, we know what we're doing, if that makes sense.
So how many of your players from last time are going to be in? Sorry, how many players from
2
last time are in the squad for this time?
That's what I was going to
2
say.
Hogg and O'Brien, but at the time O'Brien was out on loan at Bradford City, so technically it's just 1.
Right, so that basically, like, the experience of Wembley player finals probably doesn't.
But if you look how we've got, like Lees, he's been to Wembley with Sheffield Wednesday before. Turton,
he went last year to Blackpool.
He knows promotion, and your fellow who came, what's it called?
Matt Pearson.
There's experience there. You know what I mean? So they can draw it in and help the younger players out. I think. I think we'll settle straight away rather than, you know what I mean. So
historically, the player final is the most negative, boring game ever because there's so much on the line that teams. There's so much.
It'd be
money
like
on
a
the
1-0. It'd be a scrappy 1-0.
Teams don't want to be. Teams are afraid to lose, basically.
And I don't mean this disrespectful. Sorry, I keep jumping in on you, Owen. I do apologise. I'll let you speak in a minute, I promise. But I don't mean this disrespectful, but Forest have never been to Wembley. And I think they'll find it difficult to settle in straight away. And with Cooper knackering up last season with Swansea, that's going to be playing on his head, isn't it? So, go on then, Owen.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Simon, there. Like, obviously, you've got players with experience at Wembley, and we don't really have players with experience at Wembley because most of ours are really young and that, which could play into your hands. And obviously, Cooper will have it. Will have what happened last season in his mind, but he'll also want to forget that and just end his run at Wembley and against Corberan, you could say. But I think what you got to do is you've got to keep Keenan quiet as well as Johnson and Spence, because I think Keenan he's very good at holding the ball up. He's a very physical striker and that, and he can cause problems like any defence. I mean, if you ask Mark, he caused problems at Luton, didn't he, Mark?
Yeah. But I don't know how fit he is. He got injured at our place, and he's literally only come on like the last couple of games, hasn't he?
I think maybe with the week's longer training, he might be like more like fitter in that for the final.
All I'm going to say is, may the best team win, and I hope it's in blue and white colours. That's all I'm going to say. Like,
And we're hoping the reverse.
It'll be a difficult game, but I think Forest aren't. I'm not saying they're easy, but they're beatable. And Luke, shut up a minute. I mean, I'm actually, I can see you mouthing along. Shush. I'm just saying my piece. You can say yours in a minute, right? But I think in the FA Cup tie, we could have beat them if we had a starting 11, normal starting 11. So, I don't know how it'll play out because it is a big occasion. It's a lot of money on the line. It's Premier League status. It's going to be nerve-wracking either way. And I just hope it goes in favour of Huddersfield, obviously, as an Huddersfield fan. So, right, go on, Luke. You can see your piece now.
No, all I'm saying is saying that all Forest are beatable. I mean, every team's beatable, so.
Well, yeah, but
Exactly.
I just meant
That's all I'm saying.
we've played each other 3 times this season. You beat us once, we beat you second time, and the third time, the FA Cup tie. If we had as normal 11, we could have beaten you. That's what I was trying to get my point out there and say.
Okay.
That's all I meant by beatable. We've beaten you before. You've beaten us before. It's a win-win, 50-50. Can't really call it. As an outsider, Mark, who do you think's going to win?
Oh, I could actually, and it's not me sitting on the fence, I can actually put a case for both teams. And what I said about the playoff games is that everyone's afraid to lose. So I think it's going to be 1-0 either way, and probably extra time. I mean, I've just looked at the temperature. It's going to be in the 20s. So the weather is going to, I think, the other thing that might be influenced is who's got the strongest bench, who's got players that can come on. It's going to be a warm day, and who's got players that can come off the bench that can impact the game, have an influence. Not necessarily your starting lineup, but who can influence the game from the bench, basically.
Change the tactic.
It's been a long season. Everyone's had injuries, and I'm sure neither of you are going to be fielding your strongest side on Sunday. But it's for those that aren't fit enough to start. How can they impact the game from the bench? So, yeah, I think it's going to be 1 goal in it, and really put a case for either side because, I could put a case for either side winning 1-0, but it's going to be scrappy. It's not going to be pretty. There's too much at stake for it to be an open attacking game, basically.
Wait, Kate, could I just what was his score for the last 2 playoff finals, 2021 one and 2021? Was it 2-0 last season?
I have no idea, mate.
Who went up last year?
Yeah, 2-0. It was 2-0 season 4-2-1.
Yeah,
all I know is Huddersfield Town have gone up via the playoffs on penalties more than most teams.
Yeah, I was just asking that because I just got up a thing of the last playoff results. So obviously, last year 2-0, the year before that 2-1, 2019 2-1, 2018 1-0, 2017 0-0, Huddersfield won 4-3 on penalties, 2016 1-0, 2015 2-0, 2014 1-0, 2013 1-0, 2012 2-1. So most of those have been like 1-0 or been decided by like one goal.
I mean, didn't West Ham win 2-1?
Basically, it's not going to be a free-flowing open.
It's not going to be a 4-5-0 job, is it? You know what I mean? It's going to be stagey.
If anyone thinks it's going to be a football entertainment show, then they're deluded.
Bit like Forest fans.
But yeah, I think
Barring these two aren't really, you know, they tell it how it is, but they don't really, you know what I mean? They don't fall for us tricks and stuff on Twitter, so I'll allow it.
Yeah. So obviously, I think if Davis starts, we've got Surridge to come off our bench. And then who you got? Well, I was going to ask Simon who he's got that can come off the bench and change the game.
Let me just use my power as him back.
Magic. I don't know. It depends who we start in 11 is. Because if we set up as we did against Luton the second time, and we put Thomas on bench, he can come on and change the game.
You'd probably like try and stay in the game and stay competitive, and then have Thomas that can come and sort of impact the game when legs are getting tired and it's a hot day. Then maybe that's the route that you might go.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna say something. I reckon it'd be like 0-0 for like 80, like towards like 70, 80 minutes, and then one side will nick it in like the last 20 minutes or something.
Jordan Rhodes, Eder, Samba Thomas, free kick. Toffolo from outside at box, rockets at top corner.
That's what we got to avoid doing. We sometimes give away silly free kicks outside the box, and we cannot do that next week, especially you being so good at set pieces.
Dwayne Ormes rocket last minute and celebrate in front of Forest fans especially after being a former Derby player. It's written on.
No, because you have to run the whole length of the pitch.
30 on screen that celebrates in front of all 7 Huddersfield fans.
Town versus City.
Okay,
who's going to try and take more? Dum.
Okay, but
yeah, you were saying go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I've remembered it. So what it's going to be is you're going to be attacking our fans first half, Simon, and we'll be attacking yours, and then we'll both be attacking our own fans for the second half, because that's how it was yesterday, and that's how it's always been for playoff finals.
It all depends on flip a coin.
Oh yeah,
it all depends on the flip of coin. Whoever gets the flip of coin could say, right, we want to shoot into our own fans first. You know what I mean? So anyway, either way, it's going to be a cracking final, or you get tickets for it. And
how are you getting down there, Simon?
My dad's driving us down.
Right.
We're going about 10 minutes walk from Wembley. We're parked up for the day, so because don't know whether you guys know, but day before our final, Huddersfield Giants, the rugby team's at Tottenham. In
that'd be
Challenge Cup,
to Tottenham.
Probably.
Is it a final?
Yeah. Challenge Cup final. It's basically the FA Cup of rugby. And Huddersfield Giants
of rugby.
No, not as rugby union as like a Champions League of rugby. But because it's rugby league and we're bare for rugby league, with us being in that final as well, it would either both finals if I could afford it, or Huddersfield Town, which obviously I want to go to Huddersfield Town, but
You're in the same boat as us because we Mansfield, local side, like Nottinghamshire side, have made it to the final of the League Two playoffs, and it were Wembley the day before. But I think next week for me, if I get tickets for Wembley, it'll be Saturday, Bradford Stock Cars, because I know I'm already going to that, and then Sunday it'll be Wembley for the final.
what if your mum and dad, right, hear me out, they've bought tickets, but says to you, oh, I'm so sorry, son, can't get tickets, and then wake you up dead early on that Sunday morning with tickets?
God, that would be
Would
the
you
best.
cry, or would you be over the moon?
Probably over the moon.
Just thought I'd ask. Just a random question.
What would you do, Luke?
Go back to bed. No, me, I'll go back to bed. It depends how early it is.
Well, you're closer to London, so
Doesn't start till half
4.
It depends
Train
what time
down.
it is.
I can
It's
easily
like 3
get a
a.m.
train.
and I'll go back to bed.
Well, it won't be 3 a.m. getting you up at 3 a.m. Oh, by the way, Luke, we're going to Wembley today. Come on, use your brain. I'm talking like I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that.
I'm pleased I don't have the
Yeah.
stress.
I find it wrong that playoff final, they give you only 2 weeks to sort it all out. You know what I mean?
23rd of June is the release of the Championship fixtures. 16th of June is the Premiership fixtures.
Anyway, I'm just going to enjoy the day.
Well, hope the best team wins.
In blue and white, yeah?
Red and white.
Hope it's not a refereeing decision that costs the game.
Listen, it'll come down to a VAR decision, and you know my thoughts on VAR.
That's another reason. That's the reason I'm glad I'm not in the final, that I haven't got to be exposed to VAR crap.
It really, really does not make sense to have the entire season, and I mean the entire season without VAR, but in final, oh yeah, go on, we'll use it. Now, from what I've seen of VAR, it don't really work anyway.
It's like
So
FA Cup, isn't it? We'll have VAR at FA Cup games held at the Premiership grounds, but anywhere else in the country, they don't have it. It's just...
Yeah. But there was League One, there was VAR in League One playoff final, and I barely noticed it was there because there wasn't anything dodgy refereeing decisions that needed VAR to get involved. So I think it didn't really have to play a part in League One playoff final, but I do get why
my point is, like, the entire season we haven't had VAR, and then the final of the playoffs,
biggest game,
we're going to use it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Does anyone know who the ref is for next Sunday?
I've heard rumours it's Mike Dean.
Oh, for God's sake.
Congratulations, you have just gone up to the Premier League, because if it's Mike Dean or Oliver, we're screwed.
Michael Oliver.
Oh, shit.
Oh, great. Is that everything everyone else wants to say, or should we wrap it up here?
Yeah.
I want to just say, if you liked tonight, please give it a like. It helps out more than you will know. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us if you want to. All those things are underneath on the ticket. Mark, thank you very much for coming on as always.
An absolute pleasure. It's been a great season, and I know it's not over for you guys, but yeah, it's been a brilliant season, and looking forward to next season.
Well, especially now Watford's down.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
And Norwich as well. Two of your
Well,
favourite
you know,
clubs.
it's not going to be rocket science who's going to be challenging for promotion next year, is it?
Norwich, Watford, Burnley.
I don't think. Right, listen. I don't think Burnley will do as good as you'll think they will. Since they got rid of Dyche, I don't think they'll do well.
Yeah, but they've got
could
the
do.
money and they'll go out and spend their money. So
Wait, you am I right? You haven't got parachute payments, have you? Or is because
Huddersfield Town parachute payments went to the chairman because he were paying back his loans, personal loans.
oh, wait. So it's good that no team with like the teams that could go up through the playoff final don't have any parachute payments already.
And can I just point out, Huddersfield Town's team this season are all free players or on loan players or players what we previously bought from season before.
Fair play.
Huddersfield Town and Luton are only two teams in this league what practically spent nothing on their team at all.
Not according to Nathan Jones.
Oh, Nathan Jones, don't even get me started on that pillock. I mean, sorry, Mark, but he is a knob. I mean, he talks out of his fucking ass. Oh, well, we absolutely destroyed them. No, you didn't. Right? That's for starters. Second of all, Toffolo shouldn't have been sent off. For what? He never even did out. It's full of Premier League players. Only Premier League player we had was Jonathan Hogg. He had previous in the Premier League. That is it.
Love his passion and the process that he's working to, and we'll be stronger next year.
We should have had 3 penalties. No, you shouldn't. You should have had 1. And that were a very, very, very soft claim, if I'm honest with you. We should have had 3 Stonewall penalties over 2 games. We didn't get them.
I'm on my holidays now, so I don't care.
But no, Nathan Jones is a fucking imbecile.
Who just happens to be manager of the season.
Yeah, I would have given it him or Carlos, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It were either one of them two.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. It's been nice as always. Luke, just be you, you knob. Owen. Yeah.
Good luck, may the best team win.
Yeah, I was going to finish it off with best team win in blue and white. Good luck at Wembley. Good luck on getting your tickets. Mark, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it. You absolute legend for cycling. Fucking, what is it, 15,000 miles or something you've done?
No, only 2,970, I'm afraid.
Is that it? Oh, you're going to have to do all the leagues now. And I've got a challenge for you. Now, you don't have to accept it. I'm just giving you an idea for next time you want to raise money. But doing all 92 Football League stadiums in one season.
Sounds brutal.
And you've got to cycle to them all.
Right, so you're going to pay me my wages?
No, but it was just an idea. Or during, for whatever stupid reason, just do the Scotland teams or Wales teams. Just new places. Give you an idea.
Right, okay, I'll
Do
Give
like
me
Plymouth
ideas,
away.
mate.
I'll
Do
put
like
a vote
Plymouth.
out. I'll put a vote out on Twitter, and people can decide what to do next.
I've got a good idea. So you go from Luton down to Plymouth, and then you go from Plymouth up to
Hi,
Sunderland.
Mum or Dad. No.
And then-
Johnny Oates to Land's End
I've done that.
with every football team in between.
But I would need a support vehicle.
We'll see you in about 2 years.
It might actually be
that
my
Mum or
local
Dad?
team. I might actually see him out and about because you might do my local team or something.
Right. Okay. But I'm definitely
Anyway.
not cycling to Wembley, so you won't
You'll
see
do
me
that
there.
next season.
Okay.
When you get to final and beat Forest in the final, you'll do it then. Next
They're going to
season.
make it to the FA Cup final, are they? Interesting.
It's funny how you won it this year. Oh wait, you didn't. Like your
Simon
deluded
Ruggies
fans
supporters
made out you was going to beat FA Cup. FA Cup winners.
Right, okay, see you in a bit.
Right, I'm going to go and get some food.
See you later, Mark. Take care.
Yeah, all the best. Have a good summer and enjoy Sunday if you can.
I've got some nails just for Sunday. Right, we're going to end the stream there, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Take care. All the best. Bye.
Bye.